The Ultimate Pool Pro Series semi-finals are officially underway in event number 3. Tom Cousins with first chance here against Karl Sutton. Two players who know each other well. They've had plenty of battles over the years. Two world-class performers, both of whom looking to secure another Pro Series title. Their status as Ultimate Pool champions is not in question. They've been there and done it, both, if you include the pairs, on multiple occasions. Tom Cousins, of course, you could almost go as far to say the Ultimate Pool champion. There's no one who's won more, there's no one who's close. And Top Cat has got a decent opportunity here. He was iffy in his quarter-final against Josh Kane. And that, I think it's safe to say, is a slightly iffy shot. Scratch of the head from TC. No gimme now. It's a tricky layout as it was. He never seems to panic, even on the short shot clocks that we are now so used to. That's a really good recovery just to keep himself at the table. He's going to have to find another one. This is very much a reroute. The red at the bottom of the table is a real problem ball for him. Red he's nearest to probably goes in off the yellow. Probably a slightly easier shot than it looks. Oh, has that red come out okay? I think it has. He can definitely link the two reds together. How he gets up for the 8 ball is anybody's guess. I'm not sure Tom Cousins has the answer. Red to right centre, you can get through to the red to bottom left, but on earth are you getting up for the 8 ball? This is going to require a pretty special shot from Tom Cousins. Already in the first frame, this feels like a big moment. What a shot. What a shot that is. Feels like a big moment, all right. And that was a statement out from Tom Cousins. That's the first time all weekend we've had a ripple from the crowd for just making a ball in a frame. Pretty respectful crowd when the match is won, but goodness me, that shot there is magic. I mean, that is perfection. What an out from Top Cat, who lays the marker down in the semi-final. Karl Sutton impassive. There will have been a big part of Karl that just expected that to happen. That's not just a callous of being a pool player. He's a particularly pessimistic one, is Karl Sutton. And he'll have been sat there thinking, yeah, he's getting out here, don't worry. Quite a decent coping mechanism for when the player does eventually do something mad. Tom Cousins on the break. All kicked in off. That's a pretty brutal kicking off as well. Karl Sutton is going to get to the table, and before he gets set, ball in hand then. Reds, the order of the day for Karl Sutton. A reminder, because we won't get tired of seeing this, of what Tom Cousins just did.
That's some shot, isn't it? What a way to sit down in the commentary box, Stephen. That was
Good evening, Si.
beautiful. Sorry, slightly delayed getting here.
Just wanted to make sure you saw that, really.
Yeah, through the crowds, and I'm glad you did. That was some way to win the opener.
Yeah, special. Really special. Mentioned how Karl's a pretty glass half full, glass half empty rather kind of guy. And I think he's able to take those kind of shots quite well because he's just fully expecting them to happen all the time. So he's pretty good at actually not being too badly affected. There's plenty of players who will be sat there in their chair fizzing that Tom Cousins did that. Karl's probably not one of them.
He is a glass half empty guy outwardly, and I had one of my favourite interviews I've ever done on the show was with Karl just after a win, talking to him in depth about the sort of sports psychology, and talked about him, downplaying his chances, especially when you got players like Tom around, as he does make the 8 ball. And he sort of made comments publicly and in kind of conversations with him not on air as well, and sort of saying, well, these events are set up perfectly for Tom and other players, and I'm here to kind of, he almost said, I'm here to make up the numbers, that sort of attitude. And I asked him this on air. I said, you sort of almost downplay your chances when you're playing someone like Tom, almost talking yourself out. I said, no. He says things like this, but inwardly he has got the real belief that he can beat everybody in the world if he's playing well, and he does downplay things, but he's a incredible
the internal
ball player.
belief.
The internal belief is there. He's never going to be a person that pumps his chest out and says, "I'm good enough to win this tournament." He'll say, "Oh, I'm unlikely, I'm whatever," but he believes. I mean, he's won major tournaments. You don't get to 2 world finals, be European champion, win Pro Series titles without having that internal belief, and he has a brilliant all-round game.
It was a great first finish from Karl. His first break was dry. That one is not. Oh, this leave is funky though. Bit of work to do here for Carlos. No question about that.
If he can pop the yellow to top left to start off here, and he can, this might work out for him. I suppose the yellow nearest the left centre is actually the bigger problem of every yellow on the table. 8 balls remains a problem here.
I wonder if he thinks he can make the one to the left centre.
I don't think so. You can play yellow off yellow, eventually. He would like that 8 ball to have popped into play on that shot there, and then he would only be worrying about the 1 ball rather than 2 here.
Oh, so I just realised I got my right and left mixed up. I was on about the one to right centre.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he can pop the one to right centre, yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, no, I'm pretty sure that goes.
Yeah, he's okay to right centre.
Yeah, just doing the right and left signs with my hands in front of me.
Yeah, right hand, left hand.
Yeah. Yeah, this one goes. That's well, it did.
It did.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah,
that one definitely went.
And that's because he was trying to develop the 8 ball. You see the movement there. The first shot, he was hoping it would have popped them all into play.
Yeah, touch unlucky that didn't happen. And yeah, certainly forced his hand at that shot, which wasn't ideal.
I wondered if Tom would attack, and he is. He's had to pop 2 balls, and this will be the 3rd to get into position to develop the problem. Let's see what he was looking at. Top cushion, side cushion into the group of 4 balls, 2 reds, 2 yellows. Catch the middle of all that, should pop into play nicely. Didn't quite get the middle of them, got close, and that's left 1 red in. Nicely done. The double gives him the chance to go and get himself in front.
Yeah, I did think the win over Josh Kane earlier for Tom felt big to me. It felt like the sort of win that he had when he was winning titles. And he's not won titles in what only feels like a slightly long time, because we're talking about Tom Cousins. He won the Pro Cup in December. Like, there's only been about 4 tournaments since. It's hardly a drought. But,
Yeah.
you know, by his standards, he's not really been close since.
And we have to throw into the mix that he did win the Iowa Open in the middle of it, the Ultimate Pool Iowa Open. So it's not as though he's been dry of tournament victories. It's just on the English pool scene. And his number one ranking, because of the change of year, he lost a lot of ranking points with the system in place. And Declan Brennan started the year well. So it was a story coming into the weekend. And if Tom takes this one down tonight, he's very much answered the question of, is there a problem? Very much with no. That was very good. That wasn't easy, that finish. A couple of problems, and even once he had opened up the problems, he had to come up with a double. And then had to be clever with his pattern and his order there, because the balls were not good connectors. But he did really well, connecting them together. Dip across, I see Christophe Lambert and Luke McAvoy playing each other again in the first round. They played each other in the first round of event 1, and they're in the first round in event 2. And event 1, it went all the way. Christophe Lambert getting the win. It was quite a long, drawn-out match. Christophe was playing very quickly, but Luke was taking his time and making a lot of careless errors, missing pots that you don't expect with Luke. Luke's new to the game, and yeah, patterns might get into trouble and things like that. But it wasn't that sort of stuff that was a problem. It was the he missed a few balls here and there, which you just don't expect. And back to our game. Solid that. Got the reds coming up to the top of the table. Separation in the colour sets. Does he have a yellow to start? I think you'd rather be yellows. Reds aren't terrible. You can, if you can play the one top right, you can certainly work a pattern here. It might help with the 2 reds that are above the cue ball now or a plant. The red down the table, it does go, so this is doable. This is not as tough as the layout he just took out a minute ago.
Red ball's in play.
One thing you do get with Tom Cousins is once he sort of smells the finish line, he really does have that big player, big match quality to him, where he's a shark in the water. The level goes up, the focus goes up. He's an amazing finisher in tournaments. It's why he wins so much. Some players can wilt at the line. That is not what Tom Cousins does. I don't see Tom Cousins at any point backing down. In fact, he doubles down.
Oh, no, he's okay. course he's okay. It's top cat.
Plum perfect.
What are you worrying about?
He's absolutely perfect. And that is a rapid start to Tom Cousins, who is starting brilliantly. Danielle Randall at the table, and she's up against it against Colette Hendrickson, who is one frame away from her first Ultimate Pool Women's Pro Final.
She's not had it easy, has she? But Henrickson, tough draw. They come through really well. Kirsty Davies, Kerry Griffiths, Mary Talbot. That's 3 top draw players. It isn't a surprise. That's the level that Colette plays at. You know, she is, without doubt, one of the best 3 or 4 players in the world. Don't let the ranking fool you. It'll be very different next year. Tom's normally very quick at going into his problem. Obvious problem on the right-hand side here. Let's see how he chooses to attack it. He also has, if he goes down for it now, not that he can, the line's not there, but you'd be leaving one in an awkward spot up the table as well. So this might be a rare occasion where he leaves his hardest shot late, or he may have just decided it's a double and he's going to back himself to make the double. Down for the double. An excellent double. I think the reason he took a few extra seconds on that was because he wanted to just be able to play the double and hold for the red bottom left. I had to straighten it. So screws it all the way back. Just gets to the potting angle of the next ball. That makes it look easy. This is the standard that the other 3 players tonight are going to have to deal with. Very good once again from Tom Cousins. He really is. I mean, we've talked a lot about Declan Brennan and his, you know, trying to catch Tom up in the rankings, and you know he's still there or thereabouts. You know, he's got the big semi-final on Monday night in the Champions League. He's still in the event 4 this weekend, so it's not as though this is the fight over if Tom goes and wins tonight, but Tom just remains the benchmark for everyone else to kind of match themselves up against. He is the best player in the world. He proves it time and time again.
It's impossible to argue against that, really. One up, and Karl Sutton has done precious little wrong, really. And, well, I don't want to talk these in before they've gone in, but he is staring 5-1 square in the face.
I'm not sure he has a starter here. I know that sounds silly. I think he wants yellows. Does he have an opener on yellows?
I think the one to the bottom is okay.
You could make it, but I think you've got to turn it in, which doesn't connect to anything else if you turn it in. He wants to be able to play one up the table. I mean, he'd like, if he could play the one bottom of the table clean and get out, that would be fine. He doesn't look too concerned, so.
Yeah, when does he ever?
Well, that is true.
Yeah, shot.
Yeah,
and
so
now look at these.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now look at these yellow balls.
Not happy. Happy with the angle he's left. Want to be in that situation. Slightly fiddly here. Got to play a good shot here. Potentially twice across. Connecting the last two together is not easy unless he lands nicely. So this isn't. He hasn't worked a particularly good way after an excellent opening shot.
Even the sort of, like, that's a touchy little shot, but it's just bang on.
Yeah, played to perfection.
Yeah, he looks really sharp. This is the level he's shown this tournament, other than the quarter-final. And I felt like the quarter-final shocked him a little bit, like chucking Top Cat in a bath. And it's given him a jolt, and he has turned up for this semi-final absolutely laser-focused. 5-1. And this match may well finish before this frame does. Let's go to table 2, where it is still Colette Hendrickson 6, Danielle Randall 3, and we are in the weeds here, folks. We are in the weeds. Colette is on the hill, but it is rubber dinghy rapids here. What on earth are we looking at?
She needs one more frame, but these are just not nice, are they? This is going to be tough. 6-3 lead helps.
Yeah, it does. It does. For me, Colette's got enough to swing an arm at that clearance, but she's obviously taken her time, as is her right. If Colette does make the Pro Series final, which we do expect her to from that position, one thing that really she will have to work on is the speed of her play. She's played 3 matches in this tournament and played 3 great champions and is looking very likely to win them all. But they have taken a long time, and you simply do not get that luxury out in the main arena. As you see Karl break off and very successfully. This is not all over for Karl yet, but it's just starting to look like panic stations. These reds are lovely. The 8 ball is not if you go reds, but I think you have to still.
This really is scoreboard pressure. This is what playing somebody that's playing at Tom's level does to you. The pressure he's under now. You're looking at this layout in a daze. You feel like you've done nothing wrong. You're 5-1 down, and you have to take these out. That's the reality of the situation. Every time he comes to the table with a chance, he's got to take it out from here.
Tough shot this as well. He's got to try and punch out. No, he was dead straight. He had to settle for the centre, so it's okay.
It wasn't that shot actually that was the problem. It's the next one. Does he have an angle? Is he straight enough to get the cue ball out onto the next ball? That reaction tells us probably not.
Well, I wonder if you can almost hit the sort of gap between the two yellows. It looks like he's got that kind of angle.
Yeah, but that's no good. It's not going down a good path. He needs to be straight enough to top straight through. And he's going into the yellow. So he's taking it down the table off the yellow, and not to be. If he's dead straight on that, he's out. That's where he's at. He tops it through. He's on the one top right, one left centre, comes down. He is out. And not finishing straight, that's a ball's difference from where he was. Has cost him.
The sort of run where you wouldn't be human if you were Karl Sutton. You were sort of, I wonder if when he blinks he's getting flashbacks to Blackpool last summer. Yeah. He's just been frozen out of this game. He's done nothing really wrong.
Yeah, that time though he was the one in front and he couldn't hold on. But not because of his poor play. He played brilliantly. He was flawless in the match. But Ronan McCarthy just took it away from him.
Oh, Tom played a poor shot there.
Yeah, his first poor shot in the match for Tom, and just left an opening, and he tied his yellows up a little bit as well. So both sides of that was top poor, and it was a good pot from Carlos.
Wants to slide by. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. Feared for a second he was going to get stuck on that red. He's fine. I say fine. He seems a little concerned. No, he's okay. He's okay. I thought so. Oh, did he have to turn that a fraction? I'd love to see that one again. Because he definitely had a little bit of a furrowed brow. It's just a straight miss. It's a tough shot. He's played it with side to check the cue ball, but it is a miss from Karl Sutton, and it might be a big one. 6-1 is an almighty scoreline to try and recover from. Tom Cousins was looking for the combo, but with an air of, well, if I don't get it, I'm fine. But Karl gets a chance to kick at this, and he almost needs to make it, really.
Go close. It wasn't a million miles away, simply because you're catching on that glancing blow.
Here's Colette Hendrickson, and she is in her first Women's Pro Series final. What a run she's put together. Kersley Davies, Mary Talbot and Danielle Randall cast by the wayside, and Colette makes her first Pro Series final. Congratulations to her.
Stephen, I'm not sure if you're aware, obviously we're going to talk about Colette Hendrickson a lot in terms of she's unseeded, therefore she's going to be getting tough draws, and she's going to be tough draws for everybody in the competition throughout the year.
Yeah.
Obviously, she drew the #1 player in event 1, Kersley Davies, dusted her away 7-1. Are you aware who she got drawn against in event 2?
I'm not sure I am.
Amy Beecham, the #2 seed.
Oh, goodness me.
What a weekend draw that is. And she's in the final.
No, I did know that because I spoke to Amy about it earlier, and she, yesterday, because she was on a bye, and she said, well, I got a bye for the first time ever, but I have paid for that by drawing Colette in round 2, so.
Yeah. All very easy from here for Tom Cousins for 6-1.
He's making it look simple, isn't he? Is Top Cat. It now really is panic stations for Karl Sutton. It looks like an awful long way back from here. Oh, sacre bleu for Christophe Lambert. 5-1 in front, but he turns the table over.
A very different match than the last one they played. Christophe's making all the running here, 5-1 in front. He was always behind against Luke in the first match before he came away to steal it at the back end. You just see there on the right-hand side, Amy Beecham is getting herself ready to go. So semi-final #2, Amy Beecham and Barbara Taylor will be underway very shortly over on table 2. You want to go and watch that one. It's another great chance for Tom Cousins here. Goes up for the one at the top of the table. Even on a layout like this where they look simple, still attacking the harder balls first. It's not perfect. Yeah, sarcastic tap of the table for himself. He's not ideal on any of the 3 balls. We can pot all 3 and all are fairly simple pots. It's just part of the cue ball here. Can't hold. Looks like the natural line's going close to the red, so I have to swing it round, you feel. No, he's not digging, so he's happy with the natural. Oh, there's a player that's in complete control of what they're doing. Shaves by the red without a moment's hesitation. and lands absolutely plumb perfect. It's all too easy for him. He's just floating along. He's such a laid-back style, but he's just not doing anything wrong. He just gets an opportunity, takes it out. See, there's a tactical exchange in there as well. Brilliant to watch.
We are officially underway in the second semi-final. Amy Beecham versus Barbara Taylor. Winner of this joins Colette Hendrickson in the big dance tonight.
We don't get to see too many wild turnarounds on the Ultimate Pool main stage, simply because we have the match clocks. 21 minutes left here for Karl Sutton. He's going to win the next 7 frames. If he was to swing this one around, it would be the craziest turnaround we've ever seen with Ultimate Pool.
Do you know what? I don't think it's actually the match clock that's in the way here. It's just opportunity. I think Karl Sutton could feasibly win 6 frames here to tie it in 20 minutes. I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But it's the opportunity that's unlikely to happen. At some point, Tom Cousins will get a chance, and the way that he's been playing, you back him to take it.
What Karl Sutton has to do is get the next 6 chances, and he has to take them. He's taking on a tough ball here. Oh, that's a fabulous pot under the pressure he's under. Didn't quite get the cue ball he wanted, so he's still looking for his options. I think he's got a yellow to bottom left. It's not the full pocket. His body language is telling us it's not good. Right now he'll feel like he's not turned up in a semi-final. He'll feel like he's not played the semi-final. Not that he's not, played his level. He's on scraps. He's on fumes out there. All too nice out there for Tom, isn't it?
Semi-finals aren't meant to be this easy.
No.
Not against opposition like Karl Sutton, that is for sure.
Needs a good angle to be able to come down on a good line. The yellow actually on the break line is just a little bit awkward because that's kind of on the natural path you'd like to take to come down for the red. And the wall of yellow's in the way, so you want to stay away from them. He may have played to use the yellow here. Come up above the red and drop this in. It looks like the natural's going into the yellow, and if you try and dig it, you can overhit this easily. He can unless you're the best player in the world.
That's such a good shot, isn't it?
Beautiful touch. He found the line where he just had to nip it. That was really, really nice. He's landed a touch straight. Might screw out. Might just accept what he's got and drop it in. Yeah, it's really, really well played. Created a little turn of angle, and well, what a performance.
What a performance is right. Top Cat marches back to the Pro Series final for the first time in 2025. An absolutely awesome performance. 8-1 over Karl Sutton, who had precious little to go at in that match. It was about as one-sided a semi-final as you're ever likely to see. Not that Karl Sutton had much to do about that.